I'm actually celebrating my last of 5 days off work. Spring is in the air. We went and planted some trees, got them going in buckets for replanting once they get bigger. And cooking and dishing with Sissy.
Spring is in the air, but is it?
It is here.
Really? There's always time for dishing, whether it's cold outside or warm inside or whatever.
You gotta dish.
You got to dish with your sissy. Ain't nothing wrong with it. What's in the bowl?
Nothing. It's an empty bowl.
It's an empty bowl. So I'm looking
However, it won't be for long.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what we're doing?
We're doing a side dish of macaroni and cheese.
Absolutely could be a side dish. Could also be a main course.
Yes.
Depending on how it's prepared, depending on the portion size, depending on what you want to use it for. So I see you've got some butter there. I see you've got some cheese. All right. Well, we're going to do mac and cheese. That's all we said. And maybe add in a little extras, maybe do something else. So I'm going to put a little twist on mine this time. I'm going outside of the traditional dish this time.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so welcome back to Dishin' with Sissy in Dee Dee's kitchen. I'm excited about this one because this is like this is a favorite. It's a comfort food for me. There are a lot of ways to make macaroni and cheese. Lots of ways that require 5 different kinds of cheeses, all sorts of preparation. I'm going to make it the way my Grandma McGee made it and Grandpa McGee. I'm just going with a basic, rustic macaroni and cheese.
Well, howdy. Thank you for joining us for Mac and Cheese Night with Dishin' with Sissy. So as I alluded in the beginning, I am going to be the one to do the twist tonight. As you can see here with my ingredients, there's no butter and there's no yellow cheese. I am doing a Greek macaroni and cheese. We've got some beautiful onions, green onions and white onions that have already been chopped. We've got dill, parsley. We've got some other spices, including some fresh nutmeg, some fresh shredded provolone, feta. We're going to wilt some spinach, and I'm using some chickpea pasta, which I've already cooked, which is higher in protein than regular pasta, higher in fiber, and less calories. We're trying to do a little bit of eating well here at the Mag Mid Homestead. So I'm going to show you how to make my Greek mac and cheese tonight on Dishin' with Sissy.
I took some softened butter with my fingers and I just ran it around the inside of this casserole dish. This is really super easy. I drained the noodles and I did put a little bit of butter in there so that they don't stick all together in preparation for this. So I'm gonna put, this really is not a whole lot enough for 2 layers. So I'm just gonna do 1 layer. So the one thing that I did that Grandma and Grandpa did not do is I got some leftover Monterey Jack shredded cheese. I mixed it in with the noodles and I'm just stirring it around. I'm going to slice some butter, really thin slices, and just put it around the edge so that it gets down into the bottom. Not too much, all right? And then I'm just gonna take my cheese slices and put a nice layer. You can stick them down in there if you want. This is really good. This is not how Grandma and Grandpa made it. However, it is basically the same ingredients. I'm trying to make 1 layer instead of 2 because I didn't really cook too much shells, or not shells, elbow macaronis. So I'm going to go ahead and put a good layer of cheese on top of here. I can smush some down into it to make it like it was layered. This is medium cheddar slices. All right, just cover the whole top. I have the toaster oven preheated to 350. I'm going to put it in there for probably 30 minutes. Add some more cheese. Most people who know me know that my paternal grandparents were quite special. My maternal ones were as well, on a different level. My grandmother and my grandfather, they took me in when I was 15 years old. And my grandmother was very limited. She had an injury that severely limited her abilities. When I went to stay with them, she was still able to cook here and there. She liked to make this dish. She liked to make pancakes. So this is special to me. And I just want to give a shout out to them because I miss them. I love them. They were such a big influence in my life. And I still carry a lot of memories from living with them. So anyway, the oven's preheated. I'm going to set this in there for uncovered. I'm going to put a little bit of milk on top. This is a 1 cup measure. I'm going to start with half a cup and just drizzle it over the top. Oh yeah. Put a couple of bit more pats of butter on there. Maybe like 3 or 4, just to give it enough fat for the cheese to melt nicely. I'm going to sprinkle some salt and pepper. All right, so here this is. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven and then we'll come back.
So here we go. The fresh baby spinach has been wilted down. Again, I didn't want it to cook all the way. I've left it kind of just a little bit not as wilted or not as cooked because it will continue cooking in the casserole. I need to squeeze and get all the water out of this. I'm going to drain it on paper towels. Then I'm going to use the same pot to saute the scallions, the onions, and a little bit of olive oil and some salt.
I've got some more chicken frying over there, and I'm waiting for my sissy to get done. The macaroni and cheese is done. I got some fried chicken wings and some corn. I have some chicken thighs frying over there. Anyway, the mac and cheese is going to be delicious. I can't wait to see what my sissy's got going in her kitchen.
Just a little bit of cooking in this. Again, I prepared the pasta. Prepare whatever pasta you want for the package directions. I have a 10-ounce package of fresh baby spinach that I steamed. I squeezed out, and that's really important. You have to make sure that you get all the water out of the spinach. So I squeeze it out in just little handfuls, put it in a paper towel, and then when I think I've got all the water out that I can get, I squeeze it just a little bit more, and then I fluff it up and put it in the bowl. I had about, a half a cup of chopped onion, about 6 green onions with the whites. I put about a tablespoon of olive oil and a pinch of salt in the pan, and I got them sauteed. Takes about 3.5, 4 minutes. In this, we're going to add more green. We're going to add about a half a tablespoon of some dill, and I have about 1 tablespoon of parsley. I'm going to mix this together. All right, let's add some cheese to this. I have approximately a 6-ounce container of crumbled feta cheese, and I've shredded just over 4 ounces of provolone. So I'm going to put probably about 3/4 of it in the mix. I want to reserve some so I can sprinkle on the top. We got some feta, some provolone. To this, I'm also going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper. I've got some ground black pepper, probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm going to have the same amount of ground white pepper, again, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. I want to put some salt in here, maybe about 1/2 teaspoon. And we're going to do some fresh nutmeg, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Yum. All right, once you get it all stirred around, you want to add your pasta. So again, I used a chickpea pasta. It's just a little bit healthier than regular pasta. You can use whatever pasta you want to use. If you want to use a gluten-free variety, you can use a gluten-free. Again, just prepare it for the package instructions, and you want about 8 ounces of dry pasta. After we thoroughly mix our pasta into our mix, I have an 8x8 dish that I have some nonstick cooking spray. I just kind of spritzed it in there a little bit. We're going to just dump this in. Doesn't that look scrumptious? We're going to add our leftover cheese on top. I have my oven preheating. It's preheated to 375. We're going to pop this in for about 30 minutes. Make sure that the cheese is all nice and bubbly and everything is warmed and cooked through. Then I'm going to make a little bit of chicken because we need some protein with our mac and cheese tonight. I see you've got your bowl full.
The bowl is now full of macaroni and cheese.
So tell me how you made your macaroni and cheese.
So I went rustic style, like Grandma and Grandpa McGee used to do. Just macaroni, cheese, butter, and milk.
And I see you got something else over there. What else do you have?
I got some fried chicken wings here.
Ooh, fried chicken wings and mac and cheese.
And some canned corn.
We did something very similar, very different. I did a Greek mac and cheese. What was that?
What? Oh my. Okay.
So, I've made it at Mom's before. I can't remember if I've made it for you, but it doesn't have any milk. It doesn't have any butter. So it's feta cheese and provolone cheese and all those beautiful Greek aromatic spices like dill and parsley, and got some onion, and there's some spinach. And I used a chickpea-based pasta because we're trying to eat a little bit healthier at the Magnet Homestead. So it has a little bit more protein, less calories, more fiber than your regular, but you can use any pasta, obviously, that you want to use.
Yeah.
If you're gluten-free, you could use a gluten-free option, whatever pasta, and then, just cook the pasta prior to and put it all together.
Oh, yeah.
And I made, to go along with my Greek mac and cheese, some Greek-themed chicken, which is basically some chicken breast that I cut up into cubes so it cooked a little bit faster.
Okay.
Some olive oil in the pan and sprinkled on some Greek spices. I've got some garlic, some onion, some oregano, and a little bit of mint.
Ooh.
And then I made, while I was waiting for those, I figured I'd just try my hand at a few sauces. So, well, one sauce. Tried my hand at one sauce. So I have some hummus, which you can see right here. Got some pepperoncinis, because who doesn't love a pepperoni?
Oh, yes.
I made a dill sauce to go on top of the chicken. Now, normally I would make a tzatziki, but I did not have time.
I
didn't have time to make tzatziki because that's like an all-day process.
Yeah.
So I just kind of created a dill aioli. The mayonnaise and ground mustard and dill and some other stuff I threw in here. It's actually pretty good. And that's dinner.
I know you make a delicious tzatziki. I've had it before.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do something with tzatziki sometime soon.
Yes, we sure will. We sure will.
Well, you've got mac and cheese and chicken, and I've got mac and cheese and chicken. Again, same idea, different concepts.
Yes, of course.
I need to find somewhere that has kasari cheese. I can't find kasari cheese anywhere around here, of course.
Okay.
I can find, you can use provolone, but the best way
Right.
to do it is feta and kasari.
Not the same.
It's almost like a spanakopita, but obviously
Mhm.
spanakopita is phyllo dough, and this is pasta. But the
Yum,
feta
yum.
cheese, the dill, the spinach, it's all there. Very good.
Yeah. Okay.